Okay, part two. So understand that this is coming. I usually don't talk to this point of view. I don't usually specifically deal with homosexuality on a religious point of view, because you have people who don't believe in God, that it would be baseless to them as far as an argument. So fine. On the topic of the subject, dealing with it on a biological, economic, and very, I don't know, not even moral. Deal with it on a logistical level. That it is not plausible, it is not feasible. It makes no sense. There is no real reason for it. But if you did, so if you doubt that, then deal with it. Like I say, this you don't build society. The only way to build any kind of is for government to supplement it, and that's what they're asking for, supplementations with taxes and economically, when when they don't need supplementations, economic supplements, because they don't have any of the innate problems or concerns that makes heterosexual family a need to supplement. They can have sex all they want, and there will not be any child support involved. So in that way, if you want to talk fair, then what we're doing is penalizing people who have heterosexuals. So in order for homosexuality to be equal, and it's not being equal, it has to either be a lie or you're penalizing heterosexuals for having children, which homosexuals don't ever have to worry about, don't ever have to deal with custody, but they never create life. So there is no accountability, no responsibility. It is sex just for the sake of sex, if you call it sex, which I don't, because it's not real intercourse. And again, there is not a homosexual organ. There is only heterosexual male and female organs. There's no third sexuality. And even what they call it, hermaphrodite, they have still one of each, hetero and homosexual organ. So there is no such as a homosexual organ. Uterus is not homosexual. It's a reproductive organ. And again, if you go into the sterile, all of those are failed arguments, because homosexuals are never sterile or infertile. They're never fertile, so they're never infertile. They can never share genes with their partner. They don't create life. And to that point, if you really want to break it down, the only things that made blacks human, because we were in slavery times considered monkey, and some people still consider us monkeys and still stuff like that. But two species who are not alike can't breed together. So therefore, we had to be human. So reproduction is the one that verifies our manhood, and then you wonder why so many black men go around having babies out of wedlock, because it was the only right to being a man. That's why people brag on being a man. Oh, well, I'm a man because I got 10 kids that I don't take care of. Anyway, so if that be the case, then the fact that you can't have sex with your mate or reproduce with your mate, then that would be subhuman, behavior at least. I'm not calling anybody subhuman. So anyway, I hate to go there. Usually don't have to go there, but I want to go there because that whole argument on a scientific level, you don't have a leg to stand on. So therefore, I will go on to the more spiritual reasons that I want to discuss on this topic. That took 4 minutes anyhow. So the point that I want to discuss on it, there was 2 Sodom Gomorrahs. Okay, there's 2 instances where we talk about Sodom and Gomorrah. We all know the story in the Bible where homosexuals came and decided to rape two men, which actually happened to be angels. Which actually happened to be angels that and I just finished doing the angel wing logo. I just finished doing that angel wing logo for somebody. So I'm thinking about that kind of thing. But you have two angels, and a lot of homosexuals try to say, well, it's not really about the fact that they were homosexuals. It was the fact that that made God destroy that city. It was just the way that they treated those two people as strangers. Is a high offense to two strangers come in your town. You don't know them from Adam, and now you're talking about raping them, just taking advantage of them and doing one of the most demeaning thing you could do to a man. I mean to a man who values himself. I did some things on suicide, and boy, there's please go check that out. But after that, somebody do that to you. Oof. But anyway. So this was the most thing. Two strangers, and they could have been publicans, they could have been rich people, but two strangers just walk in, and these group of men that get together. So I don't know, and I think it's more of an offense with men, this type of rampant type of homosexual. I don't know, like groups of men get together and will rape women. Okay, groups of men, like we're having that now with like the 14-year-old that got raped after school, or 15 at a prom or something. A group of guys got together and raped her. We also had another problem with that. The behavior is to men is bold, brazen, disrespectful. Is usually always fall on the man. The penalty for this stuff usually is amplified when it comes to the men. There's not a group of women going around raping men. If there is, let me know where it's at. I want to be walking by. That's just joking. So my point is that when women do all this stuff, and that's why I think that a lot of this homosexuality came around, because women gets away with a lot of stuff. A lot of things didn't happen in the Garden of Eve until Adam ate the apple. Was their eyes open? The commandment was given, and a jurisdiction was given to Adam. And so the commandment. So when God asked Adam, and he tried to pass the buck to Eve and say, the woman you gave me, she made me eat it. It was actually, God said, I told you. Don't point your finger at her, So it's the responsibility. This thing falls on man. There was a girl who, a retarded girl, I heard, that was raped by a row of men. She was like fooled and tricked into coming into this. They probably gave her some candy. I mean, she wasn't mentally, capable. And so she could be easily fooled and take advantage of it. And so these group of guys had her in the basement, and it spread throughout the whole neighborhood that this girl was getting raped, and everybody in the neighborhood that was a man came to get this girl, to get a piece of this girl. And it would literally form the line, because men will do that. Men. So the onus of this, of the responsibility of this is on men. So the behavior is on men. There's a lesser thing, because I say the jurisdiction is on one. So the fact that these men came together and decided to do this to other men made this a problem. Okay, so like I said, it wasn't a band of women going around talking about raping men. It had to do with men. So a lot of times, homosexuality, a lot of women will leave, will get abandoned by men, after they leave their children with these. And then another woman will come around and say, hey, honey, I'll take care of you and your baby and supply financial support. So they do that, and this is how this woman gets another woman, turns this other woman out into this homosexuality because of the financial need. So, and sometimes the men don't pay. So I see the economic situation that causes a problem, and I sympathize with that. But, it's still, there's a trade, there's an exchange there between that woman and the other woman for her having sex with some other guy and her trying to have this other female. So they're resolved. Why they should be compensated more for it, I don't get. They've already had an even exchange. She probably have a girl, because I go I can go to the shopping market or the mall and see two women with a little newborn baby. So one of them is only part heterosexual, homosexual. So it was a situation there. So anyway, getting back to the Sodom. So there was another Sodom. Now, so they're trying to say, well, it's not about that. Well, it is about how you treated the stranger. Yes, that's part of the problem. But there's a bigger thing. All right, let me go before I go there. And I'll have to do another part. I'm going to stop this and I'll do another part called it. And I'll specifically talk. Now, if you're not understanding the principles of the spirituality that I'm explaining to you, I'm not sure I fully understand it myself, but let me just lay it out to you. I'm gonna do it about, there's two Sodom and Gomorrah. There was two situations. There was that one situation where the men in Sodom were going to rape men, but they wound up angels. So there was a hierarchy there. Okay, but then there's another situation, and it was in the tribe of Benjamin, where a man, his wife cheated, he went after the woman, and he had to come back home. And on the way home, these other group of men wanted to rape him, not the woman, and they put the woman out there for them to rape the woman instead of the man, because this was more of an offense of men raping men than it was than men raping a woman, because a woman's body is naturally made to have sex with men. So it was more appropriate. So it would have been a lesser. So if you're gonna rape, at least rape a woman. Okay, so I want to explain that. Then men. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the situations in jail is really bad. But let me stop this one and go on to the next one.